So this video ain't gonna be long. I'm posting this because I think it's important for me to say this. So I'm a fan of Trick Daddy, whereas I got my pots or whatever, and he just had Angela Yee on there. I didn't bother watching it because I'm not a fan of Angela Yee, okay, for several reasons. But I'm gonna say this though, I know that she's pro-choice, you know what I'm saying, and then apparently Trick is too. But I got something to say, and I think a lot of us need to be 100. Most of us women need to come out and shut this down, because the reality is that we in 2022. Y'all can advocate for women's rights to go and do whatever when it comes to an unborn human being, because now people want to say that it's not a human being, when those of us like myself who have had 2 children know that that is a human being in there. Otherwise, there would be no reason for you to need to eat right, do all these things. There would be no reason for them to check for a heartbeat. There would be no reason for them to check and make sure the baby have all the limbs, make sure they're developing. This is why I say you people are straight up evil. But I'm gonna say this though, why don't y'all use the same energy for everything across the board for women's rights then? If you're gonna talk about women's right to have an abortion, right, then why don't you talk about the fact that they are invading women's spaces? For example, transgenders women wanted to compete with biological women, right? Transgender women wanted to go into women's locker rooms, wanted to go into women's spaces and invade our private sacred spaces as women. If y'all gonna sit up there and do it, my thing is, don't be a hypocrite. Don't pick and choose what you're going to address. Don't cherry pick. And yeah, I said hypocrite because it's like you saying one thing but you're doing another. You saying you for women's rights, but at the same time you really not. That's why the Supreme Court did what they did. They did not take away the rights. And let's make this clear, because I'm tired of you, especially celebrities, doing this stuff when you know good and well that that's not the truth. Those of y'all who have the spotlight. And I'm going to repeat, they did not take women's right to abortions away. What they did was they said the federal government is not going to meddle in that any longer. We're not going to have anything to do with that. We're going to leave it up to the states. And the reason why people are so pissed is because a lot of states don't want it no more, which I think is fair, being that a lot of you women have abused it. And that's just the bottom line. Y'all have abused it. That is why it happened. You got Jamila Hill, or whatever her name is, no disrespect, telling her story about her abortion all of a sudden, but she's saying that she had the money, everything for it, and the only reason why she got the abortion is because she just didn't want a child. That's why they took it away. So you got people like her and most of y'all, sadly to say, to thank for them doing it. So just get ready. They're going to do even more. Oh no, they're not coming for contraceptives. They're not going to take that away, because you know what? That's something that should have been used from day one. That's something that's been available the entire time. You now can buy that morning after pill over the counter. So there's no excuse for that. So basically I'm going to call it like it is. Y'all can't hold no more. Ain't no more holding. You can't hold no more. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only people that I'm looking at people in their face like, so now y'all trying to justify and say that's not a human being. When those of us who've had kids and got common sense, let's keep 100, that didn't carry kids, know that that's a human being in there, right? And then I find it even funny, I'm going to say this about Angela Yee, and I really do not care. I find it funny that somebody that ain't got kids, I'm going to repeat myself, someone that don't got no kids can sit up here and advocate for somebody not to have theirs. Can we rewind it back? Somebody who don't have kids can advocate for someone else to be allowed to not have their child. I don't care, because I don't too much particularly care for her character anyway. And I can get into that later. But my thing is, yeah, I pay attention to people's character and what they say and what they do. I watch their behavior. So my whole point is, what a joke. And to Trick, I love your show, but I think if you're going to have people on there, and you're going to talk about this stuff, you better have somebody on there that don't agree with you either. Get both sides of it. Bring somebody on there that do not agree with what's coming out your mouth, and have the conversation, especially since you decided you wanted to put your 2 cents in on something. I think that men should be the last, and I'm going to say this, I think that men should be advocating for their seeds, because that's you being able to continue your generation, to carry you. That's your child, especially if it's a boy, that's going to carry on your name and your legacy. So that's why I think more men. Now, unfortunately, let's take it there. That's gonna require you to think about who you laying down with too. So I think if you really don't want to be in those type of situations where you stuck with a baby mama or somebody that you don't want to deal with, you should think about, do I want this person? Do I want to mix blood with this person? Do I want this person to be, and do I want to be stuck with this person for the rest of my life? Because no matter what, you're gonna be stuck with them. You got a child with them, right? So my thing is, man, you need to advocate for your seeds too. The ones who saying, "Oh, go get rid of them," you ain't no good anyway. I don't care. But I'm gonna say this. I told my husband, I'm really surprised, because I'm not surprised, but I'm like, I'm gonna leave it alone. Because if I really start going in, I probably will get some backlash for it, which I really don't frankly care. But I think it's pretty interesting that you have people who come from a certain particular lifestyle and advocate for all kind of hoish, reckless behavior, talking about they don't value the birth of a baby. But then again, I laugh, because when you think about it, this is what I was thinking when I was getting out the shower and preparing to unwind down. They don't advocate for the life of children now, right? Read between the lines. So why would they advocate for children in the room? If they don't care about our kids being taught the stuff they're being taught in school, if they don't care about our kids being exposed to the things they're being exposed to, then I would kind of think that makes sense. Of course they're not going to care. I bet you if you talk to these people, that these same people that's sitting up here advocating for abortion probably agree with our children being taught some of the stuff that they're trying to teach in these schools. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I bet you they agree with it. I guarantee you they do. But then at the same time, my body, my right, but that doesn't have anything. But when it comes to people getting these vaccines, no one was saying that. And there are some studies that are showing that some women after having those vaccines can't have kids either, right? So I'm just saying, don't you see the flip side of this? Don't y'all see this? But see, first thing people gonna do is they gonna judge me by my appearance, which I don't frankly care. I can care less. Take it and shove it. Y'all some evil people. Anybody that's gonna advocate for the death of a baby that we all know is human beings and don't want to admit it's a human being in the womb, them the top people you stay away from. Because there's a likelihood that they got other stuff in their life that they will allow to just go on. And that's the truth. Anybody that is agreeing with just abortions on demand, there's something wrong in 2022. And I'm being very frank. With our world and the technology and everything that is advancing, it makes no sense for someone to say something. I look like that don't make no sense to me no more. You know what I mean? It don't. There's so many birth control commercials. It's crazy. I don't understand why people want to. But no, I do understand why. Because it's not about women's bodies. Do y'all realize that? This ain't got nothing to do with women's bodies. This is people demonic practices going on. There are people who just keep going in there and just keep getting abortions left or right. They just lay down, do whatever, and they go get abortions. In there were states, they had to shut it down because there were states that were basically saying that they were going to advocate for abortion up to delivery. That's murder. That's the reason why people got tired of it. When they started saying, okay, we're going to see how far we can go. But see, that's what the devil does. You give him an inch, he takes a whole foot. I don't care. Yeah, I'm talking about it. This is this is demons. Straight up the devil. Anybody that's dealing with that, you got a whole nother thing coming. This ain't got nothing to do with women's rights. Y'all, we have rights over our bodies. But we also have responsibilities too. Why is no one talking about women being responsible and men being responsible, mainly women? Because when I think about it, we be the ones to if that's the case, why would we not want to take more precaution to make sure we don't get pregnant? Like not just laying down with just anybody. And making sure that we use condoms, making sure that we use contraceptives, or maybe just saying I'm not going to engage in sex until I'm in a committed relationship with someone that if I end up pregnant, we'll have our child. I'm being very honest. Some people don't want to have these conversations, especially the church. But that's another story for another day. So like I said, God bless you all. We in 2022. When somebody talk about abortion, I just laugh in their face because you can do something to avoid it. That's how you know it ain't got nothing. As a woman who gave birth to 2 kids, it ain't got nothing to do with that no more. Bye.